Hello, everyone, and welcome to the 106th episode of the Poorly Planned Podcast. I know you're confused because you thought that the last one we recorded was 106, but I've done a Houdini-esque prank on you, where in fact,
see, I was gonna say,
yeah, you think
what is going on?
You think I'm not on top of it, but then you realize I'm the most on top of it because we're actually going to put the 106th episode as the 107th. So this one's going to go out this week because it's about more current topics.
Yeah, I was gonna say, is this a topical?
It's a bit of a topical one, you know, and I don't want to say anything, but, and I'm definitely cursing it here, but this might be a bit of a banger of an episode because we're going old school on this one. No. By the way, how much time do you have to record? Do you have like kind of a bit of time?
I've got plenty of time.
Okay, because I was thinking we do a classic pod ep where we have a little bit of banter up front about something in our personal lives, as you do, you know.
Okay.
Not that we're going to force it, but because I have a kind of funny thing to talk about. Then...
All right, well, I'll sit and laugh and then cry that I have nothing to tell.
Then, have a bit of news from the past month or so. I picked out the news that I thought would be most interesting to talk about. Then we have not one, but two topics, two things to review. And then we have some Cnews and some announcements, and then that's the pod. An iconic pod.
This is back to the roots. So this is not a quiz episode.
Yeah. This is to make up for all the quiz episodes. Also, bit of a shame that what used to be just our normal caliber is now seen as like a really exceptional episode.
Yeah, second only to Pod 100 this.
So, today we're going to be talking about...
Today we're going to talk about pod ends.
Okay, I'm back.
Right.
Say something so I can sync up again.
Hello.
Okay,
so
well, that was embarrassing.
Can we just go through what happened here for the audience?
Today,
it's going to be the best episode in a long time. We're going to talk about...
I hit the space bar thinking it was going to be in my note, and then it was on the recording, so it just stopped, and it was so sad. Anyway, we're going to be talking about some fun news, like the Patman trailer, some Jake Gyllenhaal news, some Dwayne Johnson news.
Lovely.
Michael Caine's retirement, # shoot a dog.
Shoot a dog.
We're going to be reviewing Squid Game and the fucking motorcycle outside my room, you absolute dickhead.
Oh god, he's leaving. He's looking out the window. He's got his gun.
See, I don't own a gun for the record. See, this is also bringing back to the roots of the pod, an angry BHL rant, like an old man kind of thing about, I hate motorcycles. I'm just putting it out there. You
guys,
are the
I'm just saying.
And everyone thinks you have a tiny penis if you have a motorcycle, and you like rev it up like that.
I
I'm just putting it out there.
Okay, I was gonna say, and this is no joke, I was considering getting a motorcycle.
Well, yeah, that checks out with everything I just said.
You're annoying, have a tiny penis, and you suck.
Also, if there are any biker guys out there who could probably beat me up, I'm kidding. They're super cool.
I envy your huge penis, guys.
First things first, I just have another uni story to tell, as we do.
Oh, please.
And this is one of the most horrendous interactions I've ever had in my life. And the person may listen to this, so just to be clear, we say horrendous as like a... I don't actually mean it was...
endearing.
Yeah, it's like it's a pod thing where... Horrendous is like this.
I love this. You really had to listen to the pod to get this, so don't be mad with me.
This pod is horrendous, you know? That's how I would put it. But it was just a terrifying thing where I met someone in one of my classes, and we went and got lunch, and we were talking about, you know, just getting to know each other. And I've started meeting new people here I've started meeting new people here. When I meet new people here...
About a month in, I'm ready to say hello.
When I meet new people, I've started to kind of just put out the YouTube channel, just kind of get out the way, because usually then it's like
out of the way,
and then they find out about it.
Kind of show my biggest disappointment in a podcast.
Well, you know, when I went to my new school last time, I tried to kind of keep it on the down low for a while, and then people found it, and then it was a whole thing. They made such a big deal out of it. I don't know. But so,
I just sat there on my throne of lies. Like,
but so I kind of just put it out there now. So I was like, yeah, I have this YouTube channel, this podcast, and she was like, oh, cool, I'll check it out. And then I see her a couple days later, and she's like, okay, so I listened to an episode, and I have some notes. I was like, oh,
right,
oh goodness, and
OG Willikers.
I have her thing here. She sent it to me as well. And I would just like to read out some of her comments on the pod episode 99 about Brooklyn Nine-Nine. So this was a very insightful thing as well into someone who has just met me a few days ago, knows nothing about the pod, what they think about the pod. First things first, hates how we call it the pod.
Okay, well, so what's that about?
I think it's just because it's we
should call her and then just berate her on air.
Okay,
let me get her on the line.
Yeah. just call her, you're like, hello, you, hang up immediately.
Hello, the pod.
Apparently you called Brooklyn Nine-Nine a dummy show. She just wrote rude. Terry cannot go and not be noticed. How dare you? So I think you said Terry is like a forgettable character. And so,
I don't think I said forgettable. I believe I said annoying and loud.
Well, anyway, she was not a fan. She made it very clear that she was not a fan of your Terry hate. I agree. Holt's persona is phenomenal. Interesting how you beep for but no beep for asshole, but A+ for effort. Very fair. She was like, yeah, why do you do that? I was like, I've no excuse. I have no reason. Comparison between you with Jake and Boyle, very adorable. So, we had a little... I think I said it actually very insultingly, as in like, you're the Boyle to my Jake. And she chose to see that as like a very nice thing. So, appreciate that.
I see.
Apparently we said the word resentment strangely. We said resentment. I don't remember that.
Resentment.
You've been referred to here as the friend. The friend's hate towards Terry Crews is a sin against humanity. I just want to reiterate the absolute horror on my face.
This person is clearly a Terry Jeffords fanboy.
When I was being like read this, and my head was in my hands, and I just hear like, I hated how much your friend hated on Terry Crews, and I was like, oh God, how is this happening?
God, how do I tell her that he's right?
How do I tell her that I agreed with everything he said? Then, some more stuff. We say delightful too much, apparently. Apparently, she assumed that I am in love with Mr. Sunday Movies. She was like, I have no idea who that was, but it sounds like you're in love with him. Which is
honestly not a bad shout from her. Apart from when you berate him for his thumbnails.
Yeah. There are the times where I'm extremely hateful. But no, yeah, Mr. Sunday.
But such is a relationship. There's going to be some ups and downs.
Also, apparently I say Ireland weird. I've gotten that a lot from people here, but I say Ireland, and they're like, you say Ireland? It's Ireland. I'm like, Ireland. And finally, just one of the worst moments, I think, of my life, maybe. Okay. No,
and this is not the cute horrendous we're talking about. This is he genuinely sat there and was like, "Fuck me, this sucks."
No, that's what she was like. And I have to say, you guys kept saying fake mustache, and I have no idea what that means, and it's very confusing. And I was like, no,
fake mustache.
I have never had to be confronted in person, but especially by someone who I've just met, by the
about the use of your
moronicness
fake mustache
of the podcast. And I was just like, I genuinely just collapsed laughing. I was like, oh my God, I have nothing to tell you. I could not. I was like, it would take far too long to explain why we would even consider saying that randomly.
Have you heard of Sylvester Stallone?
Oh my God. So anyway, that was one of the funniest conversations I've had in a long time, and I was like, I definitely have to put this on the pod. So if you're listening to this, that person, we will take your constructive criticism into account. We'll try to say delightful less, I suppose.
I guess. I probably won't. I probably won't listen to her at all.
But yeah, no, that was
I
great.
hate Terry Crews.
Just increase the hate more for some reason. So yeah, anyway, that's my fun uni story for this time. Unless you have...
I don't have a fun uni story, sadly. I've just been a busy bee, so I'll save and create one for next time.
I would like to be clear, I've also been a busy bee my entire past 3 weeks. I'd like to
say that this is the only person BHL Hudson's ever talked to.
Yeah,
and the last after the fake mustache.
Yeah, it's like, you guys kept saying fake mustache, and I was like,
block.
In real life?
Sorry, you're gonna have to leave. How do I unfriend you?
Sorry, security, get the up here and get her out of here. Alright, let's jump into some news, shall we? First of all, Michael Caine retired from acting.
Michael Caine.
And Sam Resch emailed in saying, like, I'm sad or something, and he wrote #shoot the dog. So, I guess, in this sense, Michael Caine's career was the dog, and Michael Caine absolutely blasted that thing right in the face.
Are you saying he shot himself?
No, I'm saying it's that would be kind of a weird headline to lead with. Michael Caine retired from acting because he died.
No. Michael Caine considering retiring because of possible death.
Michael Caine won't be doing many more movies or much of anything, really.
Michael Caine will not be in the next movie because he'll be in the ground.
No, why has this gotten so dark? He's still alive and well, but he's just alive and well and retired. No, I said the dog is his career, and he shot the dog. He's ended his career. It was great. You f***ed it up.
But
I hate it.
It was really hateful. I'll tell you what. It doesn't work because they don't actually shoot the dog.
Yeah, but just let me have this. But I mean, genuinely, I was about to say genuinely a big rip. There's no way you can genuinely say a big rip, but a big rip.
Genuinely a big rip on that Michael Caine.
Genuinely a big fake mustache.
I give that 6 hands out of 10 Michael Caines.
Yeah, there's no way. Imagine someone listening to that. I'm blown away that she actually still wants to be my friend after that being like your introduction to me, basically. But anyway, I'll keep you updated on when she attempts to stab me.
Murder you.
Yeah. Anyway, I mean, a fantastic actor, you know?
Yeah, but I mean, he's what, 87, 88 now?
Maybe. I don't know. He doesn't look a day
that's
over...
really like me, and he's like 52.
He doesn't look a day over 97.
He really looks like a spry 602-year-old.
No, yeah. I mean, a legendary career. Obviously, more recently, he's been in like a lot of Christopher Nolan stuff, I guess. But he's, of course, known for lots of other things that I totally know because I'm a film student and I know these kind of things.
Are you? I can see you searching up Michael Caine. For
what am I thinking?
Classes.
Now You See Me, obviously. So,
all right, his breakthrough role.
The one he'll be most remembered for. Anyway, you know, he's done a lot of stuff, but we mostly know him from a lot of the Nolan films. And Now You See Me
Can I
as
just say,
evil.
Michael Caine is what's her face? That the really old woman actor who
Helen Mirren
looks exactly the same. No.
He looks exactly the same.
Maggie Smith.
What? How dare you? Don't.
How dare you? Maggie Smith, not that ugly.
No, we can't insult elderly citizens. No, what is this?
No, would you not agree that they've got the same eyes though?
I have not spent a lot of time looking at either of their eyes. I think you're just
What are you looking at on them, you creep?
Okay, well,
when I see Michael Caine, it is not the eyes I am drawn to. Absolute frigging weird revelation.
Oh my god.
I look at Michael Caine for his supple lower lip. And caboose.
Like, we're trying to give a tribute here. I bet every other movie podcast is like going through their favorite Michael Caine movie moments. We're just like, I love the caboose, you know. God. I do not think he looks like Maggie Smith, but then again, I haven't spent a lot of time thinking about it, so I could be convinced otherwise.
Unless Maggie Smith is not the person I'm thinking she is.
The Harry Potter woman, the McGonagall.
Yeah.
All
They
right.
are exactly the same.
I'm not okay with this, and I don't agree, and I'm not associated. Anyway, happy retirement, Michael Caine. You probably have $1 billion that you swim in daily, and you were a great actor.
You absolute piece of rich.
You are a great actor and win a lot of great things. So big ups, Michael Caine. Let's go.
Yeah. Let's go. Hashtag Big Michael.
Big Michael. And you know, Kingsman, great performance. Anyway.
Hashtag Big Michael.
Well, should we even do the Patman now? Because speaking of Michael Caine-ish things, he's now been replaced by Andy Serkis. What did you think of Patmanning it up? That's the sequel. Patmanning it up.
Patman, what do you think of Patmanning it up?
It's a really long movie title on the poster.
And it's just Andy Serkis' face.
It's just in the corner, just the Caine caboose peeking in. Anyway.
Anyways.
What'd you think?
I honestly think it looked pretty good.
Yeah, it looks very dark.
It does look dark, which I like for a Batman movie.
Yeah, it's you know.
Yeah, I'm gonna cry. It's
Yeah.
No, I mean, I people were going insane over the Batman's voice in it. Was like, it's not that insane, is it?
I literally do not remember what his voice sounded like. I'm not even kidding.
Exactly. It's not that standout.
Yeah.
Where, like, I saw something on Twitter where it's like, not on Twitter, like on Instagram, but that happened on Twitter, that they're like, oh, fans are losing it over Batman's voice.
God.
Word for word is what it said.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, okay. But otherwise, apart from the weird voice, I actually think it looks pretty good. I'm excited for it.
Yeah, it has. It has like a. They've done so many versions of Batman at this point that it's kind of. It's hard to find a new take on it. You know, I would still love to see a comic accurate one that's like still a bit silly, which I thought this one might be and doesn't really look like it that much, but something between the. Like the Affleck one, but more silly. Do you know what I mean? Like, or not more silly, but more like the cartoon where he's not like this murderous, you know, depressed guy. He's
lunatic.
He's still darker, but he's
now you're just describing Affleck.
But he goes on, you know, more like fun adventures, has more like colorful villains and that kind of thing. But this one, it looks more like closer to the Bale one, I suppose, but still pretty comic booky, but like more grounded. Apparently, it's going to be like a detective, kind of like more like noir sort of feel to it, with like the Riddler being the villain. It might also be 3 hours long. It might be like it's supposed to be like this epic like kind of thing. And I'm kind of
who's directing it?
Matt Reeves, who's Andy Serkis Monkey Man. It's just a random collection of words I just said, but he directed the Planet of the Apes.
It's got nothing to do with it. Andy Serkis Monkey Man. So he directed Interstellar.
He directed like the Planet of the Apes movies and probably some other things that are probably pretty good. I think he directed Ben Affleck is an accountant but also shoots people, the musical.
The children's book.
But that I feel like I've gotten that wrong before. It's totally not him. But yeah, I like how it looks. I like the style. I like the cast a lot. I think Serkis looks great as Alfredo. We don't really.
Is he a little young for Alfredo, or
they've grayed him up a bit, you know? Because Serkis.
I think that's just how he looks.
Yeah, sorry, no offense, Serkis, if that is.
I think they've made him look 20 years older.
I don't know. Yeah, the vibe of it, like the Batmobile, the way it's like a little bit more trimmed. It's not like an actual tank. It looks a bit more like an actual car. You know what I mean?
I love the way they've done the Batmobile.
Don't act like you're not also on a fucking superhero movie podcast, you absolute nerd.
I really like how they've slimmed it down slightly from the bulkier Bane version.
But yeah, I do like what they've done with the Batmobile, just for the record.
Me too. In fact, I jest, but the Batmobile looks good.
And you know who's playing the Riddler?
Ooh, wait. I know this as well. I don't remember, but
it's your boy Paul Dano, who was your boy Jackman tortured in Prisoners and other things. Not Jackman tortured him in other things, but he was in other things.
Jackman tortures him in at least every movie he's in.
It's a Jackman torturous cinematic universe.
I would watch that.
Yeah.
Oh, I did not know. I thought I'm thinking because the Penguin's also in this. No?
He is. Yeah, and he's Colin Farrell.
It's
the
coachman.
Yeah, it's the coachman.
He does not look like the coachman.
No.
Coachman's put on some extra pounds.
Yeah. I was gonna say they've given him a fat suit, but again, maybe that's just how he looks.
Could just be him.
Anyway, go Coach.
Go Batman.
Yeah. So good trailer. Good stuff. Speaking of Batman, a lot of Batman news. And these are just headlines that I saw from the past little while that I thought were kind of amusing that I threw in here. Because, you know, we don't cover all the latest news stuff in the pod. Actually, we cover some news stuff. But I threw in also some headlines that I just thought were amusing. So,
all right.
Just George Clooney doesn't let his wife watch Batman and Robin. Just an interesting piece of trivia, which, fair enough, I wouldn't either if I had been in Batman and Robin.
Yeah, I mean, in fairness, he's very vocally embarrassed by it.
Does that come up often, though? Is Mrs. Clooney always like, you know what I really want to watch tonight, babe? And he's like, yeah, what? She's like, you and your fucking nipple suit, you absolute dork.
This sounds like it's not a movie you're talking about, and just some weird Clooney foreplay. You know what I want to watch tonight, babe? You in your nipple suit. DHL is moving mad today.
So much.
Looking at the Caine caboose. And then the Clooney nipples. By the end of this podcast, we're going to have one big sexualized persona going.
There's so much you can take out of context with the pod and just make me look like just the absolute weirdest human.
Yeah, honey. I want to see the Clooney nipples tonight.
Oh my god. So anyway, I think enough said about that, the better. This doesn't I don't know if this makes it less sexual in here, but we did get the first look at Timothée Chalamet and Wonka.
You know what his first name is, don't you? William. You creep.
So yeah, did you see Timothée Chalamet as just
is there a
absolutely
trailer?
wonking it up? No, it was a reveal photo.
It was a picture, right?
Yeah.
I've seen the reveal photo, and honestly,
It looks pretty good.
I'm not the. Yeah, I don't want to jump on the Timothée Chalamet hype bandwagon that's apparently going around, but I think I'll jump on it. It looks really good.
I mean, and also there's like a set video of him like riding in on this big carriage, and it looked kind of delightful. Apparently, it's a musical too. I don't want to say I'm slowly getting drawn into the Wonka movie, which also features Rowan Atkinson and Keegan-Michael Key. But it's kind of sounding a little, and the costume looks really good, and he actually looks like he fits the role pretty well.
Genuinely, he looks like, just from that one photo, which is impressive, I'll say.
Yeah.
They've already kind of like set a tone that I think will be pretty good.
Because like we said, I didn't think he was whimsical enough, you know? And he doesn't,
yes.
I don't know if he looks whimsical, but it just kind of worked for me, you know?
But he does look sneaky, doesn't he?
So, I don't know. I'm kind of coming around. I'm hashtag.
I hope they.
Wonker.
Yeah. So after seeing that picture, I am hashtag Wonker.
I'm hashtag
Wonker for president.
I'm absolutely wonkers. Anyway.
Wonkers.
Well, speaking of epic crossovers, I guess we weren't really speaking of that, but Jake Gyllenhaal is going to be in Guy Ritchie's next movie, which is going to be called.
Going to be a stinky affair, I guess.
We did clear up that Jake Gyllenhaal does actually shower, did we not?
We did,
you got the news, right?
You heard it, right? Jake showers.
Yeah, so that's exciting. You know, always looking forward.
What's the movie going to be about?
It's called Prophet, but I have no idea. I didn't see any like details about it.
All right.
So
I mean, honestly, Gyllenhaal, one of my favorite actors. So
yeah, and
I'd be happy
Ritchie,
to see him back.
one of
Dude Pori,
who I mean is not. I would not say one of the best directors presently, because I would say he's one of the most. Oh my God, the motorcycle's back.
He is one of the most motorcycles back.
He is a little bit inconsistent, because he'll put out absolute bangers, and then he'll put out Wrath of Man, and King Arthur, which is in between a banger and Wrath of Man, I would say.
Yeah, I agree. Wrath of Man is yeah, it's a suck your own dick kind of movie.
It's literally the opposite of a banger. It's just like a fizzly, just a party balloon slowly going out.
It's a phew.
Yeah, that's what it was.
If I could describe Wrath of Man with one word or sound, it would be
True, very, very true. As I would Statham's performance in said movie. In
said life.
There's a new Halle Berry movie where she plays an MMA fighter. It's not really that interesting, but the villain is going to be played by Valentina Shevchenko. So we'll get to see Halle Berry fight
someone in the MMA world, I presume.
You don't know who Valentina Shevchenko is? She's
I don't know.
Super dominant female champion.
I thought that was Nunez.
Yeah, it is, but she's the other one. Shame on you.
How is there two champions?
No, but they're in different weight division. I hate you.
What weight division is she in? Is she a big girl or is she a small girl?
First of all, I feel like that's not the correct way to refer to them, but she is literally the exact medium girl in terms of the weight divisions. She's the 125.
What's Nunez?
She's 125. Nunez is 135 and 145. And they have fought before, and they're probably going to fight again, because they're the best. So anyway, Halle Berry will fight her. Cool. Doesn't look that interesting, to be honest. But I guess I'll see it. Then Matthew Vaughn's next movie, Argylle.
Speaking of not so interesting.
I'm very excited for this. Argylle movie? Argylle?
Argylle?
Well, it's the next Matthew Vaughn movie, and it's a spy film.
Starring Vince Vaughn.
I'm waiting for that team up. And it has an absolutely stacked cast, you know. I believe we talked about this cast before, but now we also have the film. It's a spy film, Argylle. I don't know when it's coming out, but it will be starring Cavill, Sam Rockwell, Bryce Dallas Howard, Bryan Cranston, Catherine O'Hara, John Cena, Samuel L. Jackson, and Dua Lipa. So a pretty epic cast.
I am excited for this.
Also Ariana DeBose, but I don't know who that is. I'm sorry.
Sorry, Ariana.
But just imagine a Rockwell Cavill team up, along with a Cranston, a Cena, and a Jackson.
The Jackson just standing off on the side, just hello, and then Rockwell. It's been a while since we've seen Rockwell, isn't it?
Yeah, I don't know what the last thing he was in. Probably
Iron Man 2.
Yeah, he's just gone undercover since then. So yeah, and I love a spy film. I love a Matthew Vaughn film. Super excited for this. Let's go. And the screenplay is by Jason Fuchs. So I'm gonna assume
him and Christian Grey get along, I guess.
I'm gonna assume it's pronounced Fuchs, but it is spelled Fuchs. It's definitely Jason Fuchs. Come on. There was a.
You know Jason? Jason.
Do I have to censor that? I guess I do. I love it. That's his actual name, and I have to censor it. There was a member of like the Danish Parliament.
Excuse me, sir.
For a while, whose name was like something, and like, and they like constantly said it on the news, and every time I would just kind of like chuckle a little bit. But Jason Isaac is best known for writing Ice Age 4, Pan, and Wonder Woman. Okay, so not super encouraging here. No offense, Jason Fuchs. I'm sorry. I'm not trying to make fun of your name. It's just Fuchs.
John Isaac Fuchs.
Anyway, good for you. So let's...
Good for you and your last name.
Let's see. What time we got? Because we still got big topics. Oh, man. We got to speed run this. All right. Okay, there was more DC fandom stuff. I haven't looked into it yet. There was apparently a Peacemaker trailer, apparently a Flash thing that I haven't even seen yet.
Have you not seen the Peacemaker trailer?
I haven't. Sorry. Is it good?
I have. What?
I'll get to it.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, this is a controversial
it looks quite good, you know. I'm there for it.
All right.
Delightful Cena.
I'll take it. Cool. Thanks. Then
you see Tina in his tidy whities.
Well, that's all I ever wanted.
So I'm sure you'll enjoy.
I replay the Suicide Squad movie just for that scene. Captain Eyebrows, aka Will Poulter, is going to be Adam Warlock, an MCU hero in Guardians of the Galaxy 3. Just thought we should put that out there because, you know,
okay.
Captain
Eyebrows. Whenever there's some eyebrow news, we got to say
it. So cool. Good for you, Will Poulter. Exciting stuff, I guess. And then final piece of news. Did you see the Dwayne Johnson rap? We have to talk about it. There's no way we're not going to talk about it.
It's been on my mind. I've seen, I don't think I've seen the full thing, but I've seen, we devour.
Yeah, that, exactly.
It ain't
it, is it?
What the
Yeah.
It's that's not it, Chief.
Yeah.
Is what I'll write to him.
I do like all the memes that are like, who's gonna tell him? Like, who's gonna stop him?
Yeah. Who in the world is gonna stop The Rock from rapping?
I also saw someone say it sounds like an epic rap battle of history, which I love those, but it's also insanely accurate.
So why?
Yeah, I don't know. He's just doing whatever he wants now. I mean, you get to a point like where you've just done it all that you can just do whatever.
When you peak.
Yeah, it's called the Michael Caine effect, where there's just nothing left to achieve. So some people
kind of sad that it took Michael Caine, I assume, 600 years more than The Rock. Are you saying that the reason that Michael Caine is dropping out from acting is because he's dropping his new single?
Oh my god, I would listen to
because what a revelation!
Like every single day,
it's gonna be him just shuffle noises with the occasional bone creak.
I feel like that would also be the title of the of the mixtape. Shuffle noises with the occasional bone creak. I was like, can you imagine? It's just Michael Caine like in his bathrobe, like just slowly walking across like a field of grass. That's the cover. Hey, we I don't know.
I would pay to see that as well.
I feel bad.
Not to listen, but to see.
We have nothing against old people. I just like to be clear. Occasional phone creak. Anyway, Dwayne, yeah, it was really bad. I'm sorry, Dwayne. I love you, but it wasn't great.
It really was not.
Yeah,
You just look like an angry, crazy like hobo who yells at the sidewalk.
I would love to see the behind the scenes without the music, where he's just like flailing his arms and just screaming.
Where he's just going absolute beast mode.
And yeah, someone made a remix of it and actually sounded good because they like put it on time. Like I don't know anything about music or rap, but
And
like,
they actually got the flow that Dwayne couldn't be born with.
but like it seems like he's completely off beat or like off the flow. So anyway, not great, but we still love you, Dwayne. Now on to the reviews. What should we start with? You want to start with Squiddy Boy or slightly different Squiddy Boy?
Boy, what a choice I have. Well, should we go? I don't know. Let's go slightly Squiddy Boy first. That being Venom.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. We're good.
All right. Just so we both agree here.
So we saw separately, because we're in different countries. We saw Venom 2, Let There Be Carnage. Should we go spoilers? Just full up because it's been out for a while.
Yeah, full up spoilers.
All right. Spoiler alert! You've been warned. Time codes down below. So
it's awful.
what did What did you think of Venom 2: The Rise of? Actually, I thought of the most brilliant thing. I've been waiting this whole time to say it. What do you think of Venom? Let There Be Garbage. Am I right? Carnage, garbage. It's a fucking great pun. You're so upset you didn't think of it. F you.
He's having a monologue, guys.
I'm talking to myself this whole time.
Let him tire himself out.
And then put a net over.
Let there be garbage. F you. You loved it. Dirty bitch.
Show me your bat nipples.
Yo, can I see that Caine caboose? I imagine that's when you walk up to like random people in the street and just go,
May I see your bat nipples?
That's how I've made all my friends here. Venom 2, garbage. I mean, it was terrible.
Let there be garbage. Boom. Thought of it first.
I recorded my review already. It's probably be up before this. And I suspect it's gotten a lot of dislikes because I think it's gotten a pretty positive reception from fans, at least. Probably not
The
from
people
critics.
I saw it with, the majority enjoyed.
Yeah. Like, the whole cinema was, like, uproarious the whole time. And I was like...
And I was sitting there skulking.
Yeah, I was like, you guys suck. This isn't even
This
that
is
funny.
awful. Guys, I bet you guys haven't seen The Office. This is way like, lower humor.
I bet you guys aren't familiar with Schmidt and Winston.
I'm sure you guys haven't heard of Rick and Morty.
So they essentially turned it into not just. Initially, I said they turned it into a comedy. It wasn't just a comedy. It was a Looney Tunes cartoon episode that had barely any plot and was mostly just various cartoon hijinks of Venom and Eddie just doing things like random.
Yeah.
And I know it was building like their character arc, whatever, but it was so detached from everything.
It was so poorly built that house will collapse.
And it was so unfunny. I'm sorry. I know people seem to enjoy it. It just didn't. It felt like a kids movie.
I'm the same. Where there was a few, especially towards the beginning of it, where I still like hadn't really realized that it was going to be a bad movie. That made me chuckle. I was like, there's a little Venom quirk. But then like towards the end, I was sitting there like,
yeah.
All right.
There was one moment that made me laugh out loud, which was, and it was just like the kind of the timing of it, where he's going into the prison, he's like arguing with Venom in his head, and then he's like, "Shut up!" and then he says it like to a person in front of him,
Yeah.
and that was just Hardy played that very well.
I did like that.
It was a very good moment, but like everything else, because they made like I can appreciate that they cranked up the Venom and Eddie stuff because that was the best part of the first film, but now
they've also made it worse.
They've made Venom like a complete, like a joke of a character, which is not to say, I'm not saying that like, oh my god, they ruined the comic book or whatever. It's like in the first one he had like his kind of funny moments where, you know, like the pussy moment and all that stuff. But in this one, like he's entirely
he's gotten way too like humanoid in a way,
childish as well. Like very like simple-minded, and he's the comic relief. Like every joke he says, he's like the funny one. That's why it felt like a cartoon. It felt like you can completely imagine him as like a Looney Tunes character, you know, and like put his dialogue in like I mean, Tom and Jerry don't talk, but you know, in like a cartoon kind of setting, and then like
B.H. Hudson sitting there Sunday morning watching Tom and Jerry, just hears pussy.
I thought you were going to say sitting there Sunday morning, just eat my breakfast, then sudden realization, wait a minute, Tom and Jerry don't talk. Just completely just sit up straight.
You're not even watching?
Yeah.
You're just sitting there, wait a minute. Does Jerry ever say anything?
But yeah, the whole tone of it was so uninteresting to me. I just made it so silly that it was just dumb, and then
also the story was just bad as well.
The story was extremely simple as well. Like it was also such a short film. Like it was like there was no time for anything to. I mean, not that, you know, I kind of liked that it was short because then it's sort of just like easy to watch, I guess, like because it's already bad anyway, so might as well make it short. But like it's just.
I think that's what the director was going for.
Yeah, that's what Circus directed this. What the fuck, Circus?
It was also this wasn't his directing debut, was it?
No, I believe his directing debut was Mowgli, so not much better. I haven't seen Mowgli, but I assume it's not amazing. But also the
Based
movie,
on what we've seen here,
the movie like looked. So, I mean, you could never tell that it was like any specific director. You know, like it had no like, it had no vision. You know, but like it looked so flat and it was so boring how it was shot. It looked cheaper than the first one as well, like lower budget. It had like
a weird, because the first one made $1 billion.
Yeah, did it? Yeah, it did, didn't it?
A freaking billion.
Strange.
For a great movie, in fairness. But this one
God.
is just...
This one was definitely worse. At least we can agree on that.
Yeah, we can definitely agree.
And I mean, yeah, the story was like super simple and just kind of dumb with Woody Harrelson and his girlfriend. Woody Harrelson was god-awful, but like...
He was in a way that was somewhat nutty, but like not even nutty enough, you know?
No, I think like the way I compared it in my review, it's the same way that you view like the Riddler in Batman Forever. Like that is obviously an insane and quite like annoying and dumb performance, but like it feels a bit intentional. Like Jim Carrey clearly that movie is such a cartoon, and so I forgive it a little bit less because this movie is similarly a cartoon, but also I would still say that's a bad performance from Jim Carrey, and this is a bad performance from Woody Harrelson. I mean, he is bad.
Yeah, it's not great, is it?
No.
I'm also like, I'm very confused about the whole like how the whole relationship between him and Tomathan Hardison started. Like, so like he wanted to interview him, but why? Or like wanted him to be what? Like what's going on?
I don't remember. Yeah, I mean, I think maybe they explained that in the post-credit scene in the first film, or even in this one. Maybe we're just dumb, but I don't remember personally. And at the end he's like, you know what? I always just wanted to be your friend or whatever. And then like, he eats his head and says the F word, and it's like, crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
wow, he dropped an F-bomb. Also, I thought it was gonna be like R-rated, so
yeah,
like,
more
it could
violent,
show way more.
Super censored feeling.
Yeah, it did not feel like.
Even more so than the first one, actually. It felt more like PG than the first one. Again, that's why it felt like a kid's movie. I guess the CGI was fine. It wasn't as good as the first film, but it was pretty, like, the suit design was still pretty good. Carnage, I liked how his design was different from Venom's.
Yeah. And so I did not like Naomi Harris. She was very, just completely irrelevant.
Oh, yeah. Was that her?
That was.
Oh. Yeah, no. I mean, yeah, whatever. I barely remember, to be honest.
She screams. Which, in fairness, if you're acting alongside Woody Harrelson,
who wouldn't?
It's the one to go for. But still,
they also the action's okay, but it devolves very much in just like CGI, whatever. I like the use of the bell at the end. Like there was some creative stuff in there, but they also they don't really establish the power differential between them, or like what he has over him, like why he's better than him, I mean, if he's just coming from his blood,
Surely he'd be worse.
Yeah, but even if he wasn't, like, they don't really explain, like, suddenly he's just, like, enormous, and he's way more powerful, and he's like, oh my god, it's a red one, like, we have to, and they don't really explain,
That is a red one!
they don't explain, like, what it means. Also, yeah, Tom Hardy, I guess his performance is fine, but it's such a weird performance, just like the first one. He's just, like manic and, like, screaming stuff and moving, so he's like, I will let you eat everyone! Like, he does this, like,
I will let you eat everyone!
like, I don't know.
Promise! Oh, yeah!
I think it weirdly kind of works, because I feel like, I guess that's just...
I think, I don't hate Tom Hardy in this.
No, because I think that's what, like, the character's supposed to be like, so I think he plays that pretty well, unlike Woody Harrelson, who I think just showed up and was like, I'm gonna be weird. Ugh.
I'm gonna wear a boring wig and be weird.
Yeah, they didn't even go full Harrelson, come on. But,
like, if you're gonna do this such a bad movie, at least give him, like, the ginger fro. Like, come on.
And I'm trying to think of anything else. It was just, so many scenes felt pointless. The one good thing about the movie, not the one thing, that's a bit harsh, but the post-credit scene is pretty amazing.
The post-credit scene genuinely got me the most hyped.
It's pretty crazy, yeah. And that's
it's insane.
They did such a sneaky thing. They did it with Justice League as well, where they put that, like, Injustice League tease at the end, and then I got super excited, and I was like, you know what, that was a pretty good movie, maybe. And then, like, you realize, like, oh wait, that was a bad movie. And this one, you walk out of it because you get so hyped up from the post credits. You're like,
yeah, Jay, like, I was out there, I was like, oh my, that was such a good post credit scene, and we remember, oh wait,
I was like, wait a minute,
Woody was in it.
The whole movie that preceded it was terrible, but the post credit scene is incredible, and it was like, genuinely, it was a feeling I haven't had with a superhero movie post credit scene, like, in a while. Because it's been so long of building up to this Spider-Verse, like, MCU crossover, bringing the Sony things, but to see it on the big screen, like, confirmed.
Actually happening.
And I didn't think Venom would be part of it.
Yeah, I was gonna say, did you know?
I did not have it spoiled for me. I managed to avoid that, and, like, the fact that Venom is probably gonna be in No Way Home now, it seems, or at the very least, we'll meet Tom Holland at some point. Like, it's amazing. It's such a cool moment.
A Hardy two Toms meet. Insane.
I like, also, even though I didn't love the movie, I do like this portrayal of Venom. I get, like, at least he's like, you know him as a character, so it would be cool to see, like, Tom Holland interacting with him.
Wait, so is Venom gonna eat him?
What an actual... That sounds like something a small child would say in the cinema. Wait, is he gonna eat him?
Because, like, he licked Tom on the screen.
I mean, I think that was just meant to be like a threatening thing, and he'll probably try to
why
eat him.
Why is he trying to eat him?
Well, because before that he says, like, hey, by the way, us symbiotes across, like, hundreds of universes have been subjected to lots of whatever, and I'll show you some of it. And then he's about to show him, and then he's like, and then Venom seems to recognize Tom Holland, doesn't he? He's like, yeah, that guy. So I think it means that, like, like, the symbiote knows of the multiverse, and, like, God, never said a nerdier sentence, but the symbiote knows of the multiverse and knows of Venom's fights with Spider-Man throughout that, you know? Like, he probably knows about the Topher Grace one, and so he knows all that stuff.
That's good. You know what? I'll give this to you. Good explanation.
You caught it
there. That was well done, sir.
No wonder you have a BHL Hudson YouTube channel. They're hard to come by.
it's the name that's difficult to attain.
But yeah. But other than that, trash movie. Sorry, that's really mean.
Can I just say, it was already a huge red flag for me when they dubbed Woody Harrelson's voice onto a 17-year-old in the very first scene.
Yeah, that was so weird.
It was so, like, wait, what is...
Was that Woody de-aged?
No, surely not. I think it was just a random dude.
Genuinely, because there was it's not important at all, but there was a guy who couldn't find his seat, and he was, like, asking people, like, is this row whatever? So I, like, kind of missed the first 5 minutes a little bit, but I remember very distinctly.
And then he was Woody Harrelson.
I remember hearing, like, the most Woody Harrelson voice ever, and I saw it, and it didn't really look like him, but I didn't really catch it. So I was assuming it was, like, de-aged. It was just some other dude that they dubbed him over.
Yeah, and, like, it looked like it just completely took me out of the immersion. I was like, this is so strange.
That's so uncomfortable. Why would they do that?
Yeah.
Woody Harrelson
why would they ever
like...
subject that poor boy to such torture?
God. So yeah, what would you give Venom, Let There Be Venom, out of 10 Venoms? Probably 5 hands.
Well, first, I wanted to ask, the Eminem song for this.
Oh yeah.
When was that?
It was in the credits. It wasn't an Eminem song though. It was like
not much Eminem.
It was another song featuring Eminem. Disappointing, I would say, because the first one was just full blast, knock knock let the devil in. This one, it was kind of a decent song, I guess. I haven't listened to it since, but yeah, light on the Marshall Mathers.
Light on the Slim.
Yeah, all right. It wasn't a disappointment because I wasn't expecting it to be good, but just what a bad.
I was
movie.
kind of disappointed because like I love Venom. We jest about it a bunch, but it was just like.
But you were on the Venom hype train.
I was on the Venom hype train slightly. No, so I'll give Venom to Let There Be Garbage. Boom! What a great thing I've thought of there. A 5.6 Venoms out of 10 Woody Harrelsons.
I gave it a 4 red wigs out of 10.
Jenny, I might do too. I'll let you eat. I might, I'll bump it down to a 5. I think that was just me trying to. That was a Tom licking scene that crossed my mind there. I was like, oh, that's a 0.6 addition.
Yeah, I mean, there's all the gags about the chickens and the whatever, and just anyway. And then let's talk about something actually good.
Yeah, next review of the episode.
2 reviews. Have we even ever done that before? Actually, we did in the Rampage and Infinity War episode. Not quite as an iconic team up here. Squid Game and Venom 2.
And Venom 2, Let There Be Poo.
Got him. God, that's so much better than mine.
Venom 2, Let There Be Poo.
So
that's what we'll go for.
What did you think of Squid Game? We got a request to talk about it. I'm sorry, I can't remember who, but thanks for requesting it. And we finally both watched it. So what did you think of it? Spoilers for Squid Game, by the way.
I really liked it. I really, really liked it. It was, yeah. I've seen a show that's very similar, I think. So I don't know why. I'd probably say this one's better. But I don't know why this one's gotten so much recognition when this one came out a year ago before, when it's kind of a similar premise. But I mean, I really liked it.
I did as well. I think premise-wise, yeah, it took me a couple episodes to get into it because when it was so hyped up, and when I knew I had to watch it was when I was talking to my dad, and he was like, "Have you watched this Squid thing?" And I was like, oh, "Okay, if Papa Hudson's asking me, then I knew I had to." But it was so hyped up, and then I watched the first episode. And the first episode's obviously good, but it wasn't it was kind of predictable. I was like, yeah,
it didn't blow you out of the water.
I was like, I know this premise. It's building up this mysterious organization, this tournament that seems all innocent, and suddenly there's blood and murder everywhere. And it was like surely, I mean, I'm kind of contradicting myself here because I can't think of a good example off the top of my head, but there have been dozens of things just like that where it's building up and everyone's like, what's this stupid game we're doing? And then someone gets shot and then it's all, oh my god, blood and gore. I mean, I guess there's
this is a night at the Hudson estate.
I guess there's the Hunger Games comparison, but also what am I thinking of? But just that general vibe of people aren't really taking it seriously, and then one person brutally dies, maybe even in a Tarantino kind of way, and then just all the shit hits the fan, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood a bit. Even I haven't seen it in full, but there's a movie called fucking Hunting Around the House. It's not called that, but it's where
King Hunting Around the House.
There's a girl who is gonna marry this guy, and it's a family tradition. They hunt one person, and so it starts off you think it's just a game, and then suddenly someone gets murdered or something. I don't know.
Is this like Midsommar?
Maybe.
Midsommar?
Sorry, I'm rambling and I'm talking way too fast. My point was that the premise didn't blow me away because it felt a little familiar. However, as I got more into it, I did appreciate the unique aspects of it and the creative way they did it. All the
it is a very thorough way they've done it, and I like it.
Yeah, they really developed they developed it well, and the unique kind of visual style, and even though the general idea of it, a thing that seems kind of innocent and it's super brutal, isn't the most original. The way they did it with the children's games was pretty well done. And the only, I'm starting off with pretty much my only negatives because I really enjoyed it. My only other negative is episode 2. After a pretty exciting episode 1, pretty intense episode 1. Episode 2 is so boring because they go out of the Squid Game and they're establishing all the character stuff.
They do spend too long outside the Squid Games, I'd say as well.
Yeah, and it's good. Like it needed to happen for the rest of the show to be built up. But I almost stopped watching it there because I was like, man, like get on with it. Like I was
damn, they almost lost BHL.
Yeah, be careful next time. Otherwise, I might actually quit watching. But
I might actually pause that.
But the rest of the show was really spectacular. I mean, fantastic performances throughout.
Who's your favorite cast member?
I thought the performance of the kind of gangster guy, like he was very good.
Yeah.
I also really liked I don't know any of their names. The girl, which is
I couldn't tell you the names either.
Song-woo. I remember him.
Song-woo. I believe there's someone called Gi-hung. Yeah.
Probably mispronouncing that. I'm sorry, but yeah, it's. I thought the old man was great. And then there's a crazy twist. Wait, spoilers for Squid Game, by the way. Put out the start. Okay, there's the crazy twist about the old man at the end, which actually caught me off guard.
Yeah, I know. Like you can I've seen a few Squid Game analyses, and I was like, it was definitely hinted at throughout. Which
well, when you look back, sorry, go ahead.
It was I just love that where it's like you don't really expect something to happen. It happens. You're like, wait a minute. You look back. It's like, blows your mind how they were actually hinting at it or foreshadowing it.
Yeah, I mean, the one I could think of right off the top of my head was in the first game. I remember the old man is super excited to be doing it, and everyone else is freaking out. And he's just happy, and he's running forward, and at the time you just think he's he's just an old man, he doesn't. He's got nothing to lose. He's going for it,
No, he's got a brain tumor. He's got nothing to lose. He's just enjoying his last moments. But then
and then it's crazy twist.
He's old, but also rich.
And I like that twist as well because I really love. I think we talked about this. I love the world build, this kind of world building thing where you build up this weird mystery of an organization, a weird place. And I thought it was excellently done here through the cop storyline, which ultimately has a little bit of an anticlimactic ending, I guess. But it was a great way
I don't think he's dead. Do you think he's dead? The cop?
Yeah, I think so.
Do you think so?
Got shot and fell.
But he got shot in his shoulder and fell. We see no body. That's all I'm saying.
Fair. This just doesn't seem like that kind of show,
I guess.
Although, I don't know, maybe. The old man was alive, so who knows. But I thought that was a great way of exploring and slowly building up the whole world and slowly figuring out what the hell's going on. I love the design of it too. It's so well designed.
It's such an ominous fucking design.
Yeah, and it's so
that they got going for
elaborate. It feels like one of those things where you can imagine they built before they even wrote the story. They built the whole world, and then they build the story in that world where then they know how everything will be revealed. I will say, that guy. I mean, he sure gets away with a lot. That cop guy, where what if they just the first protocol they have is you can only you have to say this word before you say a sentence, or you need finger scanning or something.
Exactly.
He made his way through the entire fucking thing without getting.
But I think that also works in a way because it kind of speaks about the scale of the whole operations. They won't notice one little dude, which means there's probably a ton of people involved.
Fair enough.
I think it.
No, I didn't have a problem with it. I just thought it was sort of
No, it sounds like you hated him.
It was what if the first thing he did, he just steps wrong, and then they immediately know.
Yeah.
It's but no, I thought that whole development thing was great. I thought it was a very intimidating, ominous, with the front man and the guys in the suits. It was a very. I think the reason it's taken over. I mean, it's a very well made show, but also it is so. It has such a visual presence. I don't know. It's striking. You see the imagery from it, all the pink guys and the frontman stuff, and
pink guys and the doll. You're all right. It's got a very unique, costume thing going for it. Very simple, but
yeah. In terms of the games, I thought that was also quite creative and obviously brutal and terrible, especially the marble one where you team up with the person you want to be with, and then it turns out only one of you can live.
And then it turns out you're gonna that
super fucked up. They did a good job of making them really messed up, and I also not enjoyed, but the tug of war game, I thought it was also good because the other games, while the games themselves were interesting, the fact that like how you died was just like you get shot. Like obviously it's very brutal, but it was after like 2 or 3 of that, I feel like it wouldn't be as visceral, and then that one just being like
at least kill me in a cool way.
Yeah, I feel like it sounds weird. Just like from an impact perspective, the fact that like that one you're literally dragged off it by losing the game, like super
or the glass tiles one was also pretty like
man. And yeah, the way it makes you, the games make you turn on people was super sadistic. And I also, and if you have anything, by the way, I'm sorry, I'm like rambling on, so please just butt in. Go on. But the only thing, I'm glad they had the old man twist at the end, because the whole reveal of what the whole point of the games were, while it was good and it was interesting, it was a little predictable. Like when I first saw it, I was thinking like, this is probably like entertainment for someone, like some rich people, and then it's like
this is some purge thing going on.
Yeah,
here.
and then it's the rich people, and they're all like weird, sexual, horrible people, and they.
Yeah. It almost like, I don't know why this was, but in a way, I guess because the entire show had been like, everything was in Korean so far. It was so strange to me to hear like English. Yeah, but it like because of that, it sounded like, obviously there was like American accents, but it sounded like they weren't like, it almost sounded like they weren't used to speaking English. The characters, it was very strange.
I've actually heard that complaint. I heard that like. The American, like, it sounds like someone's trying to write like how an American would speak. Like, it doesn't sound like actual.
Yeah, it doesn't sound proper. Like,
which is fair enough. I guess.
I guess they're just like weird, creepy old men who say whatever they feel like. But like, it just didn't feel that like natural at first.
No, it did feel a bit stilted. Also, when they were like, "I'm gonna bet on 69." Haha, nice number, dude.
Why? Haha, nice. Well, if I can't go 69, I'll have to go 96.
Yeah.
God, the guy is a genius.
Yeah.
And then he wants the policeman to blow him.
Yeah, and then he grabs his nuts and puts a gun to his head.
And just squeezes.
Yeah, pretty brutal. That was the most brutal part of the whole show.
When that fat rich guy got his nuts squeezed. Which of the games do you think you could survive?
Probably the first one.
Okay, can I just say, I don't know why the first one was so difficult for people.
But I totally get, like, if you weren't prepared for that, and, like, the pressure of that, like, I mean, that would...
I don't know. I'd easily do it, I think.
Fair. Then, the second one, probably not. I mean... I'd probably.
You don't think you could lick a cookie and get out of it?
I don't think I would think to lick the cookie, so I would keep trying to like cut it, and then I'd probably f it up. Realistically, I'd probably get the triangle, and I'd still f it up. The third game was tug of war, and the fourth was marbles. Fifth was glass. Sixth was squidnut.
Just squidn't it.
Just absolutely squidding it.
What were you doing in the game? I was absolutely fucking squidding it.
Oh, so you lost in the first round.
Oh, hey.
I'd probably lose the marble thing. I don't know. It's just being kind of self-deprecating here. I'd probably win tug of war because I'm super strong and smart.
I'd absolutely squid it.
And the glass thing, I mean, that's basically just, you know, the luck of where you end up in the line.
I'd definitely end up first and still win.
Yeah. I'm just built different. And the Squid Game, I'll be honest, I didn't really understand.
I don't really get it. I just know that
the final Squid Game is basically just like walk over here and then just beat the shit out of each other. Like I was
and then just stab yourself at the end out of shame.
I was like, yeah, what's the game here, dog? 0 out of 10 show.
Sat there. Yo, Dogathan, the fuck's going on here?
Yeah, I mean, production design was incredible. Music was super ominous, and it was really. Besides the second episode, it was really well paced too. It was super enthralling. Like I don't usually binge watch stuff. I watched like 3 episodes in a row one day. Like the madman that I am.
But I think it was also because there's a very like easy. It would be very easy for the show to get very like just run into a cycle and a rhythm of just like game, be a bit scared, don't know what's happening, game, die, you know, that kind of thing. But I think they like kind of like approached it differently each time, and also like explored the whole like foundation of the game a lot more throughout, which also worked. Like the whole side plot with the doctor as well, who like.
Yeah.
doing the organs and stuff. I was like, that's pretty good.
Yeah, I thought that was a great way of keeping it more interesting, and also to its credit, because at first I was thinking like, oh, I've seen this premise or this kind of style thing before. Keep it more unique than that by exploring the behind the scenes throughout it, rather than just at the end like, this is the whole crazy organization. Like seeing the more vulnerable side of that like super intense, creepy organization. Weirdly,
like the
worked.
freaking what are they called? What are they? Gods? Is that what they're called?
Gods.
Like the guys in pink, I thought they were called gods or something like that. That's what they said in an analysis or something. Anyways.
Oh. Are you sure they weren't saying guards?
No, not... Are you sure he's not saying prison man thing?
I think you were thinking of hand.
I believe the word you're looking for is mustache. Anyways, but like how at first in the first episode or two they appear to be like, yeah, like really like just kind of all powerful, but then you see that they're also scared and they're doing all sort of shit behind the behind the curtain.
And normally that might like lower the tension or like lower the stakes a bit, but it made it much more interesting here actually. Mm-hmm. And also it has great, social commentary that's very interesting. Not the most subtle, like it's sort of very clear what it's meant to be saying, but it was still well executed, and I can see why it was so popular. It has every element. Like it's very well made, but it's also very accessible. Like it's, like a very interesting premise, and I was a big fan. I really liked it. Hot take: Squid Game, good show.
Yeah, news just in. Squid Game, pretty good.
We got an advanced screening of it. I would give it like 8.9 Squidaroos.
I see.
Out of 5 Woody Harrelsons.
Out of 6 Venoms. Also, can I just say, I really like the moment when he sees the Gong Yu, I know the actor's name, on the train station again. The guy who like does the like the recruitment or like the accountant looking guy. Very good, very good.
Yeah,
also, I don't know.
The ending pretty kind of interesting. So he's gonna go take down the Squiddos.
I think so. I'm really excited for the next season. And I hope that you see Gong Yu, because I like Gong Yu. He's a good actor. He's the guy in Train to Busan as well.
Yeah, no, he was very. He's in it very briefly.
He's very short.
He's
role
quite,
he has, but
quite charismatic though. He sort of had a presence. You also sent me a fan edit, which made me laugh pretty hard.
I've also seen a lot of fan edits from him, which is just amazing.
Well, yeah, good squids.
Six Gong Yus out of 13 Song Boos.
Well, now it's time for
the Cnews.
This is going to be a bit of a complicated time-traveling Tom Cnews, because we already recorded what we thought would be this episode, but this is going up. That episode is going up next week, so this is actually a follow-up to some Tom Cnews that we haven't talked about yet, technically.
Okay.
So next week,
this will break the pod.
Next week we're going to talk about Tom Cruise was at this baseball game, and we noted carefully that something looked a little strange, but we're not trying to pass judgment. It could be many things that we don't know what is. We don't like to pass judgment. And then I found this article, news.com.au. Tom Cruise spotted for first time after viral photos. So apparently we weren't the only ones who were a little, noticed. He looked a little different. And also in this article, they've included some tweets that are just, we were trying not to be mean. And then these tweets they have here. What have you done to your gorgeous face? I was so disappointed when I saw you in the stands at the Dodgers game. Stop putting crap in your face, please. And then someone else says, what's up with the bloated chipmunk cheeks? So we were trying to be respectful. And then this article was just absolutely put in the most horrible tweets.
Damn.
So apparently others have defended Cruise, suggesting that his shifting look was likely due to getting older or even gaining weight. And it could be... so people are saying maybe it's some kind of plastic surgery thing. Maybe it's just a, weight and age thing. Again, not really our place to speculate. We don't want to, in case something is up with Cruise, we don't want to say anything.
Let me look at it. He looks like...
don't say anything bad.
I won't. He looks like... What's the guy in The Mummy called? Not Tom Cruise.
Yeah, I was about to say, well, there's a reason for that, you know.
Brendan Fraser.
The only thing is, it just seemed very sudden because we've seen Cruise pictures recently, and he didn't look like this.
No, yeah.
I don't know.
Are we sure it's not just the angle?
Well, so there was a new picture, and he looks a little bit more like, you know, previous Cruise. But anyway, I don't know. Yeah, so that's the Cnews, I guess. Hopefully Cruise is good, and maybe it's plastic surgery, and if so, it's none of our business. So anyway, now it's time for the announcements and such, recorded in a little bit. Take it away. And we're back for the announcements and such segment. I got Freddie on the line. A little early morning announcements recording. It's what we do.
You know we love it. You know we love to do it.
So we just have a bunch of comments and a couple other things. I just want to start real quick with 2 little pieces of BHL rant. I just feel I need to get off my chest. It's been a while since we had... well, actually, I think in this very episode we had a little bit of BHL anger, but you know we need a little more.
No, it's an angry episode. This one.
Just a couple of things. One, I've been watching Nugo recently. It's amazing, obviously, but
needless to say,
I do want to say just a reminder that the intro in season 4 I've written here is a crime against humanity. It is so bad. The one where
how
they have,
is
like,
it goes again?
It's where they have like the
pictures, right?
And it genuinely looks like something that would happen in the show that they would make fun of for being so absolutely horrible. So amazing.
It's like when Coach and Schmidt become models.
Exactly. That's exactly what I was thinking of. I was like, how can you unironically have this as your intro? Like, anyway. So that was horrendous. But the rest of the show, absolutely phenomenal. I'm loving it. And 2, real quick, I just have to say, Irish Ground. I hate it. I hate the roads.
Irish Ground. Oh, I see.
For one specific reason. Quite a lot of the streets here are made of some kind of material where when it rains, which it does, you know, not that rarely, it's extremely slippery. And I've almost slipped and fallen on my ass like 1,000 times already. It could also be my shoes, but I'm sorry. The streets that are
could also be my own belongings, but I think it's the entire society of Ireland.
Yeah, it could also... I have no idea if it's just like my street that is made this way. Like I've just labeled Ireland as like the one block that I walk on regularly. But just want to put it out there. Fix it, I guess. Stop making such slippery roads.
Can you get your head out of your ass? It's not a hat.
I'm
fix these roads.
Very happy otherwise, but those roads make it a big no-go. So yeah, fix your sidewalks, I guess.
So these roads are in a way the season 4 intro to your Ireland.
Exactly. Way to relate my 2 angriest grandpa rants on the pod.
No worries.
Then we just have a few comments here. Let's just go through. Let's see. Movie Guy says, looks like the pod is ruining your new relationships in uni. The pod might be your enemy. That is one of the most accurate things I've ever read. It has always been my enemy.
Pod might be your enemy.
Daniel at the movies, best opening to the pod ever. We need more university stories. Great episode as always. Thank you, Daniel. Shrumpy says, and I believe he left this comment on...
Who is Shrumpy?
It's Shrumpy, thank you very much.
Sorry.
He's left this comment multiple times, and I have not addressed it yet, but he keeps leaving it, so I feel like we just should address it and get out of the way. He says, why do they call it oven when you in the cold food of out hot eat the food? He's left this multiple times, and I don't know what to make of it. So if I just finally acknowledge it on the pod, hopefully that answers your question.
Hopefully you'll stop.
Ryan R. June says, need a Squid Game discussion. Well, you got it this episode, so congrats. Yeah? And that was also the person who suggested it, so thank you for that. See, I Told You says, okay, but why is it the highlight of my day is when a couple of niche micro-celebrities read out my comment on their podcast? Now, I mean, a wholesome comment, very nice comment.
I don't want to lie,
but
I like being called a niche micro-celebrity.
I found it very demeaning and insulting to be labeled as a niche micro-celebrity. Because I know we're almost certainly way below what even would constitute a micro-celebrity. But just the phrase micro-celebrity.
But I am not niche, please.
It's just weirdly insulting, but also a very...
What? I honestly kind of found it endearing.
Damn, maybe I'm too big for my boots here. I'm like, a micro-celebrity? And you're like...
A niche macro-celebrity, thank you very much.
But no, very nice comment. Thank you, See, I Told You. JC Comics, for the Freddy game, I would pick Gad, Woody, Renner, and Thwaites because I don't want him to be saved. Which made me laugh pretty hard.
What the hell?
Just put together the worst team. So Freddy
What was the team?
Woody, Gad, Renner, and Thwaites. So you're f***ed.
I'm definitely... They're not even making it to save me.
And then 2 GC Green comments to close it out. On the B-Stars video, he wrote, the best birthday surprise. This is super late now, but happy 2-week birthday.
Happy birthday. Also, please don't lie to us. We know a B-Stars Ben and Fred Walsh cannot be the best thing ever.
That is like a birthday ruining moment.
Yeah.
And then he also wrote, today was somewhat of a rough day. My cross-country team had our last league race to determine whether or not we'd win our league championships. Despite everyone on the team pushing themselves to their limits, we sadly came in second place. Feeling a little bit bummed out, so it's super nice to cheer up with a hilarious podcast from you guys. This is one of my favorites so far, and every single podcast can put a smile on my face. So, thank you for the very nice comment, GC. I'm sorry it didn't work out.
Yeah. Get him next time.
Yeah, you'll get him next time, and I'm glad the pod... This was not on the B-Stars, by the way, because that, again, would not cheer anyone up. This is on the
Okay, I was going to say, hopefully this is not on the quiz episode.
Yeah. Then also, shout out to the Poorly Planned Podcast Clips channel. They put up the one about Dwayne's steaminess, which was quite funny, so check that out. And then on the fan page, we have one meme this week, which was very good. It's the Hella Thor meme, you can't defeat me, and it's BHL and Freddy running out of ideas, and then BHL saying, I know, but he can. And it is, in fact, quiz episode. So you best believe we are never slowing down
quite delightful.
The absolute intensity and amazingness of the quiz episode.
So can I just say, I would like to specify, it's not us running out of ideas as such.
No,
it's
more laziness.
Running out of effort.
Yeah. We have plenty of it. We'll never run out of ideas. I mean, I shouldn't say that. Now I've cursed us, but
in 2 weeks we'll only be doing quiz episodes.
But we definitely run out of energy and passion for the art of podcasting. Finally, you can...
Arguably much worse than running out of ideas.
You can find us on Apple Podcasts and Spotify, and if you're listening there, you can find us on YouTube, The Poorly Planned Podcast. Subscribe, like, comment, and leave a 5-star rating on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. I should probably say the 5-star thing after I say the Spotify thing, so I don't have to run back and forth between them. Anyway, back to the pod. Wow, I can't believe that Squid Game actually
featured Tom Cruise in a secret cameo.
Yeah, no, unbelievable. I love things. Anyway.
Unbelievable. I love things.
So that was the pod for this week. Thank you so much for listening. Hope you enjoyed. If you enjoyed, consider hitting that like button. I already said that in the announcements, actually, so never mind. While you're at it, be sure... what's the outro for the pod?
You can find me.
You can find me on YouTube, BHL Hudson, Instagram, Twitter, BHL_Hudson. You can email the pod at bhlhudsonvids@gmail.com.
God, I have to carry this pod all the time. How does the outro go again? Yeah, get busy editing. You can find me on Twitter at FDK_DoltSniper. You can find me on Instagram at Fidalgard. And you can find me on YouTube at FDK_Gaming.
Thank you very much for listening, and we will see you next time.
Squiddy Witty!